The greatest threat to that ranch is our father. And you know that too.
All right. Well, I am Grant from Screen Rant. How you doing today, Wes?
Good, Grant. How you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. Both as a longtime fan of yours and of the show, it's an honor to get to chat with you first and foremost.
Thank you.
I cannot wait for when I can finally watch Part B. They're being very secretive about it so far.
Yeah.
So my first question for you is, obviously we left off Part A with Beth and Jamie are about to go to war. Jamie's starting to look for hitmen, it seems, to go against Beth and John. I'd love to hear sort of, do you personally think that there is a path for forgiveness and redemption for Jamie going into the back half of this season?
Well, I could say that about any season. I think there's always been some kind of path for reconciliation, but it doesn't appear the show goes that way. So, I don't want to say anything to spoil what's coming, but, it's Yellowstone. So it's going to be intense and a little dark, but also really like dramatic and I think ultimately satisfying for the audience.
I love all of those descriptions, so that keeps me excited. And so obviously another big thing this season is that John is absent in the final episodes here. And obviously you yourself just did away with Jamie's father not too long ago in the show. And I'd love to hear sort of, how John's absence now really impacts Jamie, not only in his war with Beth, but just in general going into these final episodes.
Well, I won't say too much about, how it impacts this season, just because I for the fans, I don't want to spoil. For me, when I watch any little thing, I'll pick up on it and go, oh, I knew what happened. So I won't say much to that. But, as far as with TV, you're always kind of prepared for something big like that. Like your big star might be gone all of a sudden, or the show might be canceled, or you might be killed off. So you're always kind of ready for that big change to happen, and you just enjoy all the experiences while they're in the moment, so that because you never know what's coming around the corner. But I'll just say about Kevin that he obviously is a big part of the show, and he's been amazing and is a great guy, a great actor to work with, and I'm just so happy that I got a chance to do so.
Well, I love hearing that. And so I know you don't want to get into spoilers per se, but one thing I'd love to hear is obviously Rip is a big supporter of Beth. He's willing to go to the ends of the earth for her. He's in Texas, though, now. And I'm curious if, as things heat up, again, I know you don't want to go into spoilers, but I'd love to hear if at all there may be some kind of conflict between Rip and Jamie in particular because of extenuating circumstances from Beth.
I won't say what's coming, but I will say that I think that's one of the biggest things Jamie is terrified is Rip coming for him more than Beth even. It's funny because with Rip and Jamie, they had a history and they had a sort of, there's in season 2 in particular, we see that there's a connection between the two of them and you forget, that they kind of grew up together a little bit in a way. So, it's someone he's scared of, but it's also someone who he has a connection to. So what would go down if Rip, was to be the one, what would actually happen between them? It's interesting.
Well, I'm curious to see if we find out what would happen in this season.
I'm happy for you too.
So I see I have enough time for one more question. So I would also love to ask, there's a lot of reports of either season 6 or spinoffs in the works, sequel shows to this. And I'm curious, again, we don't want to get into spoilers. I don't know what happens with Jamie this season, but if that door is open, what are your thoughts on continuing the character of Jamie past this season?
Oh, of course I'd be interested in that. And I don't know anything. It's literally above my pay grade. I only know what I know, and they just tell me when to show up and say words. But it's a hard character to play. It'd be hard to continue on that way, but it's also been a good challenge and one I've enjoyed. So I would of course be open to that.
Well, I hope if it happens, it's a very meaningful story. It's for you to sink your teeth into. And again, I really can't wait to see how the rest of this plays out. I see I'm out of time, so I'll get on out of here. Hopefully next time we talk, we can get in some spoilers for real. Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot to come.
Oh, yeah, a lot to talk about.
Hope you have a good one.
You too. Thank you.
Making statements or actions that threaten harm to another or make them feel they're in danger is assault. You don't have to hit someone to commit assault. You just have to present a threat. You presented the threat.
Bye.